So, the message that I'm getting for the beautiful collective of innately loving, innately joyous light beings is that basically things are balancing out. Things are balancing out because of how you weigh. WEIGH. How you weigh Ma'at energy. The light, interesting. The heart against the feather. When I said light, I was thinking about the feather. The feather being light, right? The weight. Your light body, your energy, how you shine authentically, your heart space and being at heart consciousness. There's a balance that has been happening for a while. It could have been all your life where you've just been figuring out who you are through trials and tribulations, through moments of temporary happiness and fear throughout your life, and how you've pushed through and focused on striving and succeeding. There's like an energy of hunger, wanting more. From the depths of who you are, not just whether you are materially abundant or you are abundant in joy and energy, and or whatever your abundance is or has been. There's still kind of been like this hunger, and you've just been moving through your life, through your choices and decisions. You've been balancing things out, and now you are finally at the culmination point of achieving that balance to the extent to where now you're vibrating at a different frequency, to where what you used to have to balance no longer needs to be balanced. It's able to be maintained, and you're walking into a new space where what you used to have to balance is now balanced for you. That you've mastered that frequency and vibration. Your soul is now understanding how it fits into your body in a way. Your soul is feeling more at home and is seeing life from a more loving place. It's also recognizing that everyone has had a role to play in your success. So in ways you're turning negatives into positives. And that helps you to move forward in heart consciousness when you're able to really accept that. Obviously, now you're more wise and you're able to use logic with wisdom. The soul, the essence of you, is now ready to expand and to do things that it's never done before. So now we're moving into new territory. Everything is based off of frequency and vibration. And your presence in the world is very important. This is really a collective victory. Through the lives and experiences of your ancestors that have challenged you inside yourself, that have emanated your reality for a long time. The highs and the lows. In your sleeping and awakened states. And now things are going to be drawn to you. That reflect that. I feel that there's going to be opportunities of using your gifts to support people and breaking those chains around them that have allowed them, that have, I don't know if allowed them is the word, I feel like I'm kind of seeing like a execute button, like a programming, you know, like when they press enter and then it's like it computes and it's commands. It's a command. It has commanded people for a long time to do the things that continue to limit them versus accept who they truly are, or even just be able to see who they truly are. To accept their joyous self. Who you are is going to show for all eyes to see. And you are going to inspire many. And it's going to nourish you in all the ways that you decide to give of your energy. It is reciprocated. Because there's an importance about being a part of this world right now. Because many of us in the world go around doing things that we don't want to do, and that has been told to us to be the norm. That your hard work never pays off, but you care and you love so much when you do it that you feel like it's the right thing to do. But those are commands that, if we look at it from the perspective in which we're understanding now, have just further confirmed who you truly are at your heart. At the same time, those commands have also taught you, after burnout, after seeing the challenges of the roles that we've played in our family dynamics, the mother, the father, the sister, the brother, the son, the daughter, the husband, the wife, and forward. That things need to change. Like, we always have those family dynamics where there's certain things that a family member does that you disagree with, and you feel like, I'm going to do different. Or you always hear parents say, I'm going to make sure that my child has everything I didn't have. Or, you just like your daddy. And then you grow up and saying, well, I'm not going to be like my daddy in that way. Or that father role or that mother role that you looked up to. All of it, at the end of the day, was enriching your unique spiritual consciousness. And now you're able to go into the world in whatever occupation that you're in and be compensated fairly. Because now you're at the place where you know what your value is. So from here on out, there's only fair exchanges. Because that's just what it is. That's just what it is. This is all based on your frequency and your vibration, your thoughts, what you hold in your consciousness as truth. Everybody is playing their roles at this point. Everybody's playing their roles. The key here, though, is that there is a universal wealth transfer. It is. It's through the law of worth. And for me, the law of worth has to do with who you are authentically. Only you can be you. And that's the key to the releasing of the fractal line commands, the ancestral inherited blocks being now liberated on a higher plane for your physical manifestation. That's what is happening. A lot of you are leaders, and you have what it takes from your essence, from your soul, from beyond this incarnation to guide others. And not even just to guide others, to be a leader. Because you understand what the people need. Your specific people. The people that you represent. There's a people that you represent. And you're able to support and advocate for those people in a way that also nourishes you. And that's the self-love part. That's the most important part. You have to fill your cup first. There are people out there that tell you that you're supposed to be brave and give and give and give. Maybe that's your story. I feel like the people that I'm connecting with, you know that's not your story. Because if you give and give and give, there's nothing left to give. The people that I'm talking to have had to learn how to love themselves. And it's not just about going to get a massage, going to get a facial, getting your nails and your toes done, going shopping, taking a bath, putting some flower petals in it, some shea butter, even though I like that kind of stuff. That's not self-love. That is not self-love. We talking about value here. Value. How you work in a job that pays you less than what you deserve. When you work for the divine. So you telling the divine that's what you're worth, and you're accepting it, and you're mad, and you're unhappy, and you're burnt out. But you continuously agreeing to it. You know one thing, I'm going to just get real with y'all. That I had to understand how I was blocking myself. And obviously, I forgive myself for these kind of things. And allow that energy to reincarnate so that I can now manifest it in its properly aligned way. Is that I stayed in places so long because I honestly felt that I did a good job at what I was doing, which was true. This is relationships, this is work, because if you build habits in one place, the habits exist in many other aspects of your life. I would stay in situations for longer than what was comfortable for me. Was dissatisfied with how I was being compensated, with how I was being treated, with how I was being loved, with how I was being valued. But I would create reasons in my mind for why it made sense. So, oh yeah, if I left this job, if I go for what I really want and I leave this job and I go specialize in this field, I have to go get a whole nother job. I have to go 2 years and specialize in that before. And it's like, but is that what you really want? So why not go for it? right? I did that from when I was a kid too. I lost faith and patience in the school system. I wanted to be a veterinarian at one point when I was a little girl. When they asked, what do you want to be when you grow up? I said veterinarian. And that was also influential upon me. I wanted to be a pediatrician and then a veterinarian. And then once I got to 11th grade and it was time to decide, I didn't want to be a veterinarian anymore because I saw 4 years of school as more burdensome. So I then decreased my standards on myself. And I feel like all of these things I'm sharing consciously with you because they were all learning lessons about how I was operating internally. I was telling myself that I was exhausted. I was telling myself that I was unhappy, I was depressed. I felt suppressed, repressed. That my dream was no longer something that I saw as attainable, not because I didn't want it, but because I was exhausted. I was exhausted. You know, as a young child. Because my creativity wasn't being sparked. I was just doing schoolwork. It was boring. The love for animals that I had always, it wasn't there strong enough to push me. So I say all of this to say that every single thought, that every single emotion was creating my reality for me. And I was slowly forgetting myself. Until my body reawakened me through a state of dis-ease. And if you're someone like me, you've seen this in your spaces too. You've seen people who have been challenged with their health, who have been challenged with their mentality about how they see life, and they feel like they can't do these things. But there's something specific about you, the person that I'm speaking with right now, that even though you had these same thoughts and emotions at some point in your experience, you were able to expand beyond it. So there's going to be opportunities here for investing in people in the ways that is unique to you, that's coming from the heart consciousness now, that is opening and available to the new opportunities, because now you're doing things now that no one in your family has ever done. This message is not focused on The future is focused on the fact that you are now walked through the door to new. And you're gonna really love what you do. And it's fulfilling. Your relationships are fulfilling. Your sex life is fulfilling. Your interactions are fulfilling. Your investments are in alignment. Because you're coming into these situations with a loving understanding of humanity, or whatever we want to be called at this point, because I don't even freaking know really what that word is about. Because at the end of the day, it's all based on frequency and vibration. And people continuously want to put us in these groups, majority, minority, etc. And I'm not even speaking about race. I'm speaking about the way people think. You, though, are in tune with the cosmos. You, though, are working in sync in your divine connection with your counterpart. You, though, are bringing forth life that is expressing the genes that you guys are creating or bringing together in a healthy way. You are a demonstration of sexual health because you two are aligned cosmically. So the sexual health, it goes beyond physical protection. It starts from alignment of understanding that the sexual energy brings forth the expression and the desires of the ancestors of the fractal line, its limitations and its gifts. And it's up to us to refine those things in this body, in this incarnation. And so by you going through your life and getting to this point where you are today, as you're listening to this message, and you know how important partnership is to you now, there's no thoughts in your mind at this point that is saying, I don't know if this woman or this man is right for me. You know. Your value. And your value is more than the money. The money is an expression that you desire to experience your value in the physical. For some, their value is expressed through beautiful connections. Just people complimenting them and receiving gifts. It's going to all express in alignment with your unique consciousness. And however you and your counterpart come together, there's going to be a balance that is created. The monies don't have to match. What's matching is the frequency and the vibration. And it's bringing in freshness. It's bringing in joy. Your babies are gestating in joy. Yeah, bliss. And it's undeniable. And it's powerfully happening now. Alright, wave number 2. You guys are very much in line with universal law. Okay? You guys are reality creators. You guys are working with pure cosmic energy, potential creative energy. It's like this is your job now, because you have this energy of where it's like, I'm done. And it's like you guys are aligning your consciousness with universal law, not just for you though. It is for you. But it's like you've been charged with the job in a way to do it for everybody. And this obviously is working for you first, but your embodiment of this energy is what's going to radiate out and support many others. So joy is a very, very big portion of you guys' reality, beauty, wealth, money, having the resources when you need it, you got it. Intelligence, healing, overcoming challenges, success. You guys are using your creative energy now. So that's the part of the message that you guys are. When I said, what did I say? I'm adjusting myself. I said something. I feel like I'm getting deep into your message. I guess that you guys are the deep ones today. You guys are the part of the message of the intro where I basically was sharing about my experience in high school and how I was through with everything, and I went into my own story. But the point of that sharing was that I was creating my reality. So it's like this whole time you realize I've been creating my reality this whole time. So the whole time I had the ability to be creating abundance and wealth and beauty and love and success this whole time. I'm done. I'm done. And it's like an energy of like not even being mad about it, like, because it's like, all right, well, I get to create now. So I feel like you guys are the energy right now where y'all are going to be investing in the things that you wanted to do. You know, y'all going to be investing into the things that you wanted to do. And it's going to be a success because you guys are reality creators. You know, it's like something is going to happen where you've been planting these seeds in your consciousness of who you are now. Because again, like, people are going to look at you leave. People are going to look at you and think that you don't fit the part because you still have the same clothes from before. At the same time, they don't see what's happening internally and how you're investing in things that are going to bring you peace and joy. These are the hard workers here. You know, a lot of you may do work, like I'm seeing like people doing overnight shifts, and like I'm seeing like people like in uniforms, like, but like your uniforms get real dirty, like you're a chef in the kitchen, or like, you know, you're a plumber or something, or, you know, like, what are those jobs? You know, somebody might have said you had a dirty job or something like that. Like, you look dirty. Like, because you have a job that's like, it's not, you know, classy and stuff like that. You know, I think a lot of y'all is going to still be looking like y'all poor and y'all rich. I feel like it's giving that. Because I think that you guys are changing the status quo of what it really means to be rich. I really do. I really do. Because this has to do with contracts as well. So this has to do with contracts, right? Relationships are also contracts in some way, shape, or form of soul agreements we have before incarnating to support us in moving into a more aligned frequency. That is relevant. What I'm also getting, though, is like contractual agreements in the mind. You know, the things that you made solid in your consciousness, that you're now saying, I'm changing that. But for sure, there's passive income and all those kind of things. But this is due to you working in joy. Like, you're now able to tap into the angelic frequency that is with you. Because a lot of you have been very, very serious people. You know, I have my Batman card deck. It's just like a regular playing card deck. And it has the Joker, and he's saying, why so serious? Like, some of you guys have been through a lot of challenges, you know. Put a smile on your face, you know. But this is not in a sinister way. This is in a way that has to ask you, why so serious? You know, when you can create joy, it's like you are the hard worker, you know what I mean? Like, I'm just getting at you, bust your butt. You are the hard worker, you know. Very strong, very responsible. And all the work that you've been doing, so this is getting clearer, all the work that you have been doing has not been passive. So now you're coming into passive income. I feel that I'm gonna get another card for you guys, but I honestly, I really don't feel like you need any more guidance. I really feel like you are working off pure vibes now. I just heard pure vibes, pure vibes. Some of you might be into like carnival or things like that, or like, you know, West Indian festival and stuff like that, or like if you've never been to a carnival or you haven't been since you was a little kid, like you're gonna be doing stuff that you wanted to do when you was a kid, or the things that you did that brought you joy, you know, dancing and investing in those things, not only from a standpoint of like making physical money, but it's a frequency first. So it's like no matter what your situation is, you're still in the energy of joy, and that's availing you to the passive income, which is first a frequency. So you're receiving that pure cosmic energy and potential, that angelic frequency that you're able to connect to through continuing to cultivate that energy. And then allowing yourself to experience it in your own self, right? Dancing and going to a carnival, or connecting with the inner child. It's availing you to money. This is like a connection to your currency. Yeah, like I'm just getting an energy where, like, you know, you are understanding your value, your worth as a, how do I want to say this? Like, I feel like it's ordained cosmic reality creator on earth. I don't know. Like, because what you're doing is not just for yourself. Yeah, you're liberating yourself. And by doing that, you're bringing in more of the resources that you want in the way that you want them. That's different from what you're used to. And it's a movement. It's a movement for you. It's a movement. So yes, that is your message. Wave number 2. Be well.